Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This market recaps for Friday, Friday the 13th, October 13th, 2023. And on my last video, I said that I had gone short on this day here. This day here, right here when we got this tail. And we did have an up day. I got a little bit in the red, and then we had a reversal day, and we got some follow through now. So I've got a profit on small one on QQQ. I also went TZA, which is the inverse or the levered inverse ETF for the Russell 2000. This one's played out very well. I have a nice profit in this, going short here on this day. And looks like we're coming down to support here. I'm going to probably take profits pretty quickly if we don't fall through this support line, because this is looking a little bit extended. And if I were a bounce trader or traded bottom bounces, I'd start looking to add a position somewhere in here to see if this support held. So I'll be taking profits in this pretty quick if we don't keep falling. QQQ looks like the start of a new downtrend, or at least, we'll go down for a few days. We could hold the 20 here, but I've got a short on, and I'm in the green on the short still. You can see that the RSI now dipping below 40, never going above 60, is in a downtrend. And we bumped our head on the 60, and now we're heading back down. So to me, that's a short. Let's take a look at the big seven. Apple, I've got this trend drawn, this range. We hit the top of the range, and I think we're going to fall to the bottom there. Amazon, we had the move up. We hit our head on the 50-day moving average, and now it looks like we're going to go down. Google was very strong, and we'll see if this holds the 10-day or the 20-day, or if we just keep falling. Meta, I said, looked like was doing a double top here and here, and now it's falling. So again, we'll see what happens. Microsoft, high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. That's in a downtrend. Netflix is just broken. That's broken. That's going to go down for years, in my opinion. This would be a long-term short, in my opinion. I think a lot of institutions are getting out of Netflix. Their subscribers are going down. Their costs are going up. I think Netflix going forward will be a perpetual short. NVIDIA got a big reversal day. Let's pull NVIDIA up on the big chart. And what I'm seeing in NVIDIA looks like a head and shoulders to me. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So, this might take us down. I think we're going to go down to potentially the 200-day moving average on all the big seven. So there's some definite room to the downside. That's my target, the 200-day moving average for all these, and then rally. Tesla, kind of forming a wedge pattern here, but holding the 100. So again, we'll see if this holds again and we get a bounce, or we just keep falling. But I'm expecting, these moving averages, or these big seven stocks, to move down to the 200-day moving average. Vanguard Total Stock Market Index, we'll look at that on the big chart. Let's look at the situational awareness. which are, these sets of indicators that I run. Top is bullish, bottom is bearish. I have 2 sets of them. And I've been putting them on a spreadsheet and coloring them just for better representation. And you can just see all the red. Bear market for sure. Here's our bounce for the past, week. And then we've got 3 straight down days with a very big down day on Thursday as far as breadth goes. The market wasn't down that much, but the breadth of the market was down quite a bit. You can see on my long-term indicators here, mostly these numbers keep going up from 3,000 to 4,000. I mean, this has been pretty steady for a while, from 3,000 going up. It's just red. Everything's red. I'm not taking any longs. If we get bounces, I'll be looking to short those unless, unless we start seeing $1,000 days. Like this is a $1,000, 1,000 stock days here, like this and this were red days, over 1,000 stocks. That's big. If I start seeing, 1,000 stocks going green in this column, that will let me know there's a shift. That will let me know there's a shift to the bullish side. The VIX is now at 19. It did reach above 20. We'll look at the summation index on the weekly now that it's closed. Let's look at QQQ. T2108, stocks above their 40-day moving average is only 24%. With the Qs, let's see, the 5-week is below the 10-week moving average. Price is right there. The weekly RSI is still above 50 on the Qs. These have not broke. Stotch is reaching, the oversold level and then looking to bounce up. Doesn't mean it will, but this is, looking to me like potentially we could get a buy here on the longer term. MACD histogram's negative. VIX is at 19. 20 is where, we'll get some decent selling. Some big down days in the market when the VIX gets over 20. It bumped its head on 20, but didn't close above it. So again, I'm short, but we'll see what happens. I'll be ready to take profits pretty quick. Let's check the IWM. I wanted to show you this. This is the weakest of all the indexes, right? 5 is below the 10-week, and price is well below the 5. RSI has been under 50 for weeks now. We're well into the oversold, but when it gets down like this, it might be down here for a while. That's just been my experience. But you can see long term, we're kind of hitting this support area. We're almost there. And then it'll be do or die. Check the SPY. Five is below the 10 with price below the 5. We're right at 50. We're firming up on the Stotch. And we'll check the VTI. Same thing as the SPY. RSI is slightly below 50. 5 is below the 10. Price is below the 5. Firming up on the Stotch. This doesn't look good. Not going long here. My situational awareness is deep in the red, but you're going to have to go up at some point. I think we're going to keep falling and then set up for our year-end rally. Let's check the Dow Transports. Dow Jones Transportation Average Index Fund. I mean, this is supposed to be a market leading index, right? And this is, couple weeks now. 5's been below the 10 with price well below the 5. RSI has been below 50 for quite some time. Stotch is in that deep oversold, which means you can be here for a while. I think we could maybe pull down all the way to this support zone here. And this is supposed to be a leading indicator. So not looking good on the weekly time frames for any of the averages. We'll see if we can firm up or if we're going to get another drop. Let's check it on the daily now. Transports on the daily. The 10 is below the 20, 20 below the 50, and price, hitting support. It's do or die right now for the transports. RSI, I changed this from 21 to 14. And, we're going to use the range between 60 and 40. Or, 20 and 60 for a downtrend and 40 and 80 for an uptrend. This is clearly in a downtrend, never getting above 50. The Qs are also in a downtrend, where you can see we went below 40 and then we hit our head on 60 and now we're heading back down. Stotch is overbought, crossing, and looks to me like we're going to go down. This what's on the daily time frame makes me think I'm more bearish in the daily time frame that we're going to pull back. The long-term time frame, it looks like some things are kind of firming up on the SPY and the Qs, and potentially the IWM. The IWM is very oversold. Again, we're hitting this support zone here on the IWM. You can just see it with this line. We're right there. We're in a downtrend for sure, but we've got, and I don't really play these, I just take notice of them. Look at the RSI right through here. Line this up here. Line this up here. Price is the same at both areas, but look, we have a higher low on the RSI. This is the divergence. And again, divergences are not scripture. They don't always work. It's just something to keep your eye on, where we're in a support zone with a divergence. If we saw, if we started to kind of firm up, I would sell my shorts very quickly, because that to me would look like a bounce. And notice on the IWM, we fall into a downtrend here. We get a nice bounce. RSI doesn't go above 60. We get the range expansion day. This is your day to go short. And we never close until here. We never close above the 10-day moving average. It's nice. It's 6.5% on the TZA, which is the inverse levered ETF. It's 3 times what the IWM does. That's a 20% move to the downside. You can make money when the market goes up. You can make money when the market goes down. It's one of the good things about swing trading and day trading. Qs, this looks range bound to me, right? Nice run up. Here's the support. We'll see if we go down to the bottom here and firm up, or if we keep falling. Time will tell. Sorry. Let's check BTI. Let's check the SPY. It's the same thing usually. 20 is below the 50. And the 10 is below the 20, and price is bumping its head on the 50. Look how people say moving averages don't work. Look how it just hits its head on the 50 and just doesn't go above it. I don't know. Maybe it's super coincidental, but same thing here. Come on. 50, 50. 50. Didn't hold here, but moving averages work in my opinion. Again, they're not scripture, but it's definitely something I look at. All right, I will look at some, let's look at some power stocks and some ETFs. I mean, I'm not going long anything. Actually, we'll go to this one. Okay. Sort of by strongest. And TNX is a strong uptrend. This isn't a setup. It looks like it's topping out to me. IMVT range bound. IONS. This is the one that looked like, if I were going to take a long, I would take this one. This is nice consolidation. It's in an uptrend on the RSI. Nice breakout day. Close the high. On better than average volume. And it's just entering the power zone now. That's a nice setup if we're in a bull market. We're not. This could work, but who knows in this market? I've seen a lot of breakouts break down. Might get lucky, but it's not my game to go long right now. EH, big pop up, and then, so the yellow candle means we opened higher, closed lower than the open, but it's still a positive or up day. But that's an ugly candle. Big volume. Stay away. Coal, pulling back, consolidating. Siri, here's the other one I would buy as well. Let's put it on this chart. You can see when this stock gets going, what happens, right? Well, look at the RSI. Kind of go above 60 a little bit, go above 60 a little bit in this range. We get this run here, 20%. Right here, we go into an uptrend. We get a nice consolidation here, and then we get a breakout right there. And we go up. We have one down day, doesn't close below the 5-day. If you get shook out, you could even buy it back the next day here at the next range expansion. So we would have bought it here, all the way up, 70% on that run alone right there. If you ever see a candle like this and you're long in the stock, take a lot of profit. This is a 42% day. I mean, that's just a gift. So here, the RSI, we fall down. We're in a downtrend now. We pop up, we hit the 60, pull back, hold the 50, and then we have this day here. Range expansion, we go over 60, we're at 63. Here's the start of the uptrend. Now, because the breadth is so bad and we're in a bearish market, this may not work. But if we're in a bullish market, I would 100% take this setup. It's a good setup. It's a new, young uptrend on a very, on a stock that moves a lot. This is, I'm going to watch this on Monday for sure. All right, where did we stop? We stopped at Siri here. Yep, stop there. I mean, oil got a bump for sure. But if you look, we are now in a downtrend in oil. So I would expect this maybe to go up to the 50, hit its head on the 60. So I wouldn't take this. It's a nice setup, but I wouldn't take it. We're in a downtrend. That's just a bounce. That's really it. That's showing up on my scan. Nothing else looked good. I mean, this, a $3 stock, it's just stay away from that. All right, let's check some ETFs now. Okay. VIX ETF. This is the other thing that made me, think we're going to go further down. The VIX is now in an uptrend, according to the RSI, right? Plus we have a bottom and then a higher low. This is a little bit of a lower low, but from here to here and then a range expansion, that's a trend change. You see the RSI doesn't dip below 40 and we're moving up. So VIX is in an uptrend. I'm expecting it to go above 20. These had big moves on Friday, big moves. Gold and silver moving up. They're in downtrend still. I wouldn't play those. SOXIS, so this is the inverse or bear ETF for the semiconductor index. I did take a position today in this. You can see that from this area we're in a downtrend where the stocks were moving up, semiconductor stocks were moving up, then we get a change in the trend, go above 60, pull back, we don't go below 40 here on the RSI, then we go back above 60, could have tried to make some money through here, pull back, and we stop right above 40, get a big range expansion here today, 8%. Oil is in a downtrend or a trend change. You see it fall well below 40 here, bounce back hard, and I would expect this to kind of fall. You can kind of see potentially shoulder, head, and then right shoulder forming here. Potentially, it's just, your crystal ball is just as good as mine. I mean, gold miners are moving up, but they're still in a downtrend. TCS pass. SQQ, you can see this is the inverse triple Qs levered. Here's the start of the uptrend, pullback, doesn't go below 40, goes back above 60, back to 40, and then we're starting to move up. So that's a buy for me on the SQs. And then, let me see here, we'll keep going. TZA, this is what I've been trading for the inverse ETFs on the IWM. You can see we're potentially double topping here. I've got a nice profit in this. It's in a uptrend, but you could see that here I pointed out the divergence on the IWM. Here's the bearish divergence for the TZA. Right there. Lower RSI reading, equal price. So I'll take profits quickly, but Israel, the Fed, there's a lot of headwinds for the market right now. I mean, if we have fantastic earnings, that could propel the market. And we are coming up to earnings season. Uranium, this is in an uptrend. Holding the 50, but there's no setup here. I will keep an eye on uranium. flag it. Bitcoin just broken. FAZ, this is the inverse levered for the XLF. So when banks go down, this goes up. You can see this is in an uptrend, trying to set up. ARK funds are just broken here, but maybe finding support, divergence on the RSI. Regional banks look very weak, looking to go down. SMH, this is the semiconductor index. SOXL, SOXS are levered, meaning they'll move twice as much or 3 times as much as this. And you can see that, this is right at 60. This is peaking over 60. This is not. So big, we've had this run through here. This looks like a bear flag to me. And we have a move down, and then here's the bottom of the flag, here's the top of the flag, and then we have big range expansion. So we'll see if we get a follow through. Market could get choppy here with tech potentially moving down, but then things like the Russell, utilities, indices sectors outside of tech moving up, and that's going to mean for a choppy market. So I might be sitting on the sidelines here, but I'm actually excited to see what happens here. BOIL, this is natural gas levered ETF, so this is in my to watch list. Here's the move that changes from a downtrend to an uptrend. We're having a pullback now. I'm going to look for a setup and see if this goes higher. Because when this thing gets going, I'll show you here when this thing gets going. When this thing gets going, here's the trend change, here's the pullback, doesn't go below 40, and you look for a setup here. And you can kind of see it right here on this day. Right there. 150%. Not saying it's going to go on a run like that, but you can go on a run with gas, that's for sure. UNG, that's a pullback. This is the ETF that BOIL and Cold are levered to. LabD, I did buy a little bit of this here, and you can see the bearish divergence up here, right? Higher highs on price, lower highs on the RSI, you get a divergence, and then this happens. So we didn't break out, we went right back down. So I got sold out. Small loss. Definitely happens. Tesla looks like it's going to fall. Here's the start of the downtrend. Not really an uptrend change. We got the 40. You could have bought it here potentially if you thought this was a change in the uptrend, but now back below 50. Tesla's just range bound right now. I wouldn't play that. All right, I think that's it for today. So I'm thinking we're going to get a follow through next week to the downside, but I would not be surprised if we firmed up for a bit. And I think tech's going to go on a sell-off. We might see some bounces in the Russell and other sectors. So if we don't fall, I think we're going to enter a pretty choppy market for a few days or maybe a week. So we'll see what happens. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe.